find the expansion of this. We are given 2x minus x over 3 raised to power 4. So for you to expand that, you are going to take the first term, you raise to power 4. So meaning the power of the first term here will be decreasing as the power of this increases. So you're going to say 4 combination 0, 2x raised to power 4 times negative 3 over x, because this is minus, so you are going to say minus 3 over x raised to power 0. The second term will be 4 combination 1, 2 power x. Now you can see here 2x is the power. Now it's going to become power 3. It decreases by 1, but this increases by 1. The next term we're going to have 2x raised to power 2, but the second term now will also be power 2, because now at every time the sum of the powers must give you 4. You can see 4 plus 0 will give you 4, 3 plus 1 will give you 4, 2 power this 2 here will give you 4. Now you expand that, and once you simplify, if you are having 4 combination 0, this is how you put it in your calc. Shift, you'll write 4, shift, then combination key is this one. Then you write, if you are writing 0, 4 combination 0, that's going to be 1. That's why you can see I have here 16, because this is supposed to be 4 here. So this is basically, yeah, 2x raised to power 4 becomes 16x power 4. So if you expand that, that is basically what you are going to have at that point. Now you are told, and ensure that it's simplified. Basically that's what you are supposed to do when you are doing question to do with binomial expansion, or yeah, expansions. Hence determine the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of this, in the expansion of this that we are having here. So what you realize that because this expansion that we are told to find the coefficient of x squared, we have here 2x minus x over 3 over x. So this means that already you must have done that expansion in the previous part. We have that expansion. 2x minus 3 over x is basically, if you expand it, you'll have this. And you are using that, instead of writing 2x minus 3 over x power 4, you are going to write whatever we have gotten in part A. So once we have done that, then we shall write x squared plus 5 into bracket whatever we have in part A. Now you are not going to expand everything, because they are asking you coefficient of x squared. So you need to ask yourself, which terms do I multiply for I to get a coefficient, or which terms do I multiply to get x squared? The first term you're going to multiply to get x squared is x squared times a constant term. If you multiply x squared and a constant term, you are going to get x squared. And also, if you multiply a constant term and x squared inside the second bracket, also you are going to get x squared. Now in that case, if you multiply x squared and 216, you are going to get 216 x squared. So meaning the coefficient of x squared is 16. That's why I have it at this point. If you take 5 times negative 96, if you multiply them, you are going to get 5 times negative 96 x squared. You are going to get 400 and let me just multiply, 96 times 5. That becomes 480 x squared. Then the coefficient of x squared is 480. So if you add the two, then you shall have 216 plus negative 480. You are going to get negative 64, and that becomes the coefficient of that particular term. Now The next question that we're going to do at this particular point is the question to do with area of shaded region, and we are told to find the perimeter. Now I want to take you step by step on how you can be able to find the perimeter of the shaded part. So we need to find this arc length here. We need to find this arc length. So for us to find that arc length, we can call it arc length S. So arc length is usually r theta, whereby r is the radius and theta is the angle in radians. So this is going to be what? This is going to translate to, the radius is 6. You can see here the radius is 6, and this is 6 times 0.8. If you multiply that, you get 4.8 centimeters. So that is the arc length. Then we need to find this length A to B. How do we find A to B? Just in the comment section, how do we find A to B? Now, for me to find A to B, I will come here and I subdivide this. Yeah, I can decide here and subdivide this into two equal halves. I'll subdivide it that way, so meaning that this angle here will be 0.4. so meaning that if I've subdivided that, I'll have a triangle that looks like this. Let me just draw it for you. I'll have a triangle that looks like this. So once I have this triangle, I'll have this 0.4. This distance here is 6 plus 4. Yeah, so that is becomes 10, and I need to find this x. Now I can call this point M, right? I can call this point here M. So this is M, and this is O, and this is called B. Yeah, so this is what I have. Now with this triangle that I have here, what am I going to do with this triangle? I'm going to use now SOHCAHTOA so that I can be able, because this is a right angle triangle, I can use SOHCAHTOA in order to find the unknown side. So which means that I will say this is hypotenuse and this is opposite. So I'll have to use sine. So I'll say sine of theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse, and our opposite in this case is x. So we are going to say x of hypotenuse, and our hypotenuse here is 10, is equals to sine of 0.4. So it goes without saying that our x is going to be 10 sine 0.4. Then we can be able now to put that in the calculator so that we can be able to check what the answer should be. I'll have to ensure that my calculator is set to radians. Don't forget that. This is going to be so then now I can say 10 sine 0.4, and if you work out, we shall get our answer correct what? 3.9 centimeters. So from this side here, this is 3.9. So meaning that now AB is going to be 3.9 times 2, because M was the midpoint of this section. So this is going to be equivalent to, we multiply by 2, that we are going to get 7.8. Sorry, that is the 3.9. Yeah, 7.8 centimeters. Now once we have 7.8, the question was find perimeter. Perimeter is distance all round, and distance all round will become what? Distance all round will be what? Is the distance of the arc length which we had gotten here. Yeah, the arc length we had gotten it. So that is going to be what? The distance of the arc length was 4.8 plus, then we move this distance here, which is 4, plus this distance across, which is which we have gotten here, 7.8, then plus this distance here, which is basically 4.4. So if we add all the distances, which is 4.8 plus 7.8 plus 4 plus 4, which translates to 45.4 centimeters as the perimeter of the shape. Now the next part, yeah, so I've just checked, if you add everything 4.8 plus 4 plus 7.8, we are going to get our answer equivalent to 20.6. So this becomes, let me just cancel this, 20.6 centimeters. So that becomes the perimeter of this particular shape. Yeah, that's the perimeter. Now I think the next thing I need to do is to work out the area of the shaded region. In fact, for us to find the area of the shaded region, first we find the area of the entire triangle. Area of triangle. That is the first thing we are going to do. Yeah, so meaning that for us to find the area of the triangle, we are going to say area of the triangle is going to be a half AB sine of theta, a half AB sine of theta, which is going to be a half times A and B are the two sides that are forming that triangle. So in this case, it's 10 by 10. 10 times 10 sine 0.8. So if you work it out, let's check what we shall get there. 0.5, that is 1 over 5. Sorry, 1 over 2 times 10 times 10 times sine 0.8. If you work it out, you're going to get your answer as 35.9 centimeters squared. That is the area of the triangle. Then we need to find the area of the sector. This sector we have here, we need to find the area of this sector, and area of the sector is given by the formula area is equals to a half r squared theta. A half r squared theta. That is area of a sector, and that is basically when you are given angles in the angle in radians. So this is going to be area is equals to a half times the sector has a radius of 6, so this is 6 squared times 0.8. So if you work it out, what does it give you? 0.5 times 6 squared times 0.8, and if you work it out, you're gonna get 14.4. That is the area of the sector. Then area of shaded part, we can now therefore say shaded part is equals to the area of the triangle, which is 35.9 minus 14.4. 35.9 minus 14.4. If you work it out, you shall have 21.5 centimeters square as the area of this particular shaded region, which is up 21.5.